everybody.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us today. Obviously, we are running a financial fundamentals with your special guest, Danielle and myself.
Yeah,
so I really appreciate everyone coming to say hello, and hopefully we can give you some tips on how to make some extra cash. All right, Danielle, do you want to say hello?
Yes, hello everybody. So yeah, basically with this session we just want to give you, it's not to become a millionaire, but just, you know, in this day and age, how can, yay, we got Perth joining. Hello Perth. Hey everybody. Alright, in this day and age where it's settling down, but inflation's been a bit of a bitch over the past few years, which kind of eats into, you know, pay rises and all of the expenses. So we're just here to provide some ideas with some, you know, ways to make some extra cash and you know, increase that cash flow for you to make things a bit easier. We've got things from super easy things anyone can do to side hustles and other little tips and tricks. So yeah, that's what we're going through today.
Awesome. Alrighty, let's get straight into it, Danielle.
Alright, first cab off the rank. So we're going to start simple and work into, you know, slightly more tricky stuff as we go. But alright, surveys. Online, you can get paid money by doing online surveys. It is super easy. So here are some survey platforms, and don't worry, we're going to send out all the slide notes at the end, so you can see all the you know, the names of everything, because I know that can be a bit, if you won't remember all of the little apps and everything we bring up. Okay, so these are so Celeste and I have gone through and put in stuff we use, and also have gone in and tested a bunch of the things we're recommending. So these are 4 survey platforms that I have used and redeemed money from and have not been scammed or hacked. So I can, with confidence, refer these to you guys. So first off, Add a Poll. Add a Poll is super easy to use. It's got surveys available for completion basically all the time. So it's basically surveys are available whenever, constantly. The drawback of Add a Poll is the amount they pay for surveys is a bit lower than the other platforms, but it just kind of makes up with them being constantly available and just really easy to use. You can cash out from Add a Poll once you've accrued $20, but you can also keep a large balance on there, and I've made withdrawals at like lower amounts, like $20, but I've also withdrawn up to $150. Yep, come in. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, come in, take a
Here we
seat.
go.
Sorry, we just got started. We're just talking about online surveys that you can do. Alright, if you want to avoid the camera, you can take one of those chairs. That's the main thing of this session, sitting somewhere where you're not on camera. I'm unfortunately stuck with it. Okay, so with Add a Poll, yep, and when you redeem from Add a Poll, you can get the money paid straight to your PayPal. So, you know, that's nice and secure, that extra barrier. And then that they pretty much send it through immediately. So whenever, if you got a bit of money on Add a Poll, need some, that comes through straight away. So I probably made like $700 on Add a Poll since the beginning of last year. Although it did recently kick me out. That felt like a gut punch. It was like being expelled from Hogwarts. But basically, you will get kicked out of these platforms if you provide inconsistent answers. So you can't just endlessly press random buttons and not really pay attention. You will get kicked out. And apparently, I'd provided 1 or 2, you know, inconsistent answers. So Add a Poll kicked me out. But I would definitely recommend it. But being careful with your responses goes for any of these programs. Alright, next one I'd recommend is Purple Patch. So Purple Patch took me a while to actually find when people recommended it, but at the time when I signed up it didn't have an app, just a website, so it may have an app now, but I've just always used the web-based version of it. So Purple Patch doesn't have surveys available all the time, but you will get an email whenever there's a survey available, so that makes it easy, because you don't have to go in and check or anything like that. So these sometimes does have ones that are higher paying, but because they're so infrequent, like I've probably made like, compared to Adipol's $700, I've probably made $60 on Purple Patch since the beginning of last year, but I just keep it on there at Christmas. I cashed out some of these vouchers on it. And the advantage of Purple Patch compared to the others, you can cash out from $5. All the other ones make you wait till you've got about $20 until you can cash out. And you basically can cash out just by getting like a gift card, like a Woolies gift card or whatever gift card you would like. I'm just always going to say Woolies gift card because that's just always what I do. But again, because you're just getting a gift card, it feels super secure, you know, the information's not going out there. Alright, the best one of all that I will say 100% is the best one is Pure Profile. So I've probably made over $1,000 from this one since the beginning of last year. So Purple Pat, Pure Profile, it doesn't have surveys available constantly, but it has surveys available every day. So you just have to open the app and see what's there. It is higher paying than Adipol, which is good. So you know you feel like you get a decent amount for what you put in, and you can cash out at $20. You can cash out, you know, as a bank transfer. I have tried that, and again, didn't get hacked. The money was there, but it took them a month to give it to me. So if you're going to use Pure Profile, I would definitely recommend cashing out via using gift cards. That's going to be your best and easiest bet, because you get that instantly. So I actually used an $100 redeemed $100 from Pure Profile on the weekend and used it for my groceries. Alright, and last but not least, Octopus Group. So Octopus Group, people always say it's the best one. I disagree and think Pure Profile is far superior in every single way. But Octopus Group is really good and easy to use. So I've probably made like maybe $250 on Octopus Group since the start of last year. It does 100% have the highest paying surveys, but like Purple Patch, they're not available all the time. So it will give you a notification when they're available. So again, you don't have to stress and check it all the time. And you can cash out from $20. And I've always just used, because I've only done 2 cash outs from them, I've just used the bank transfer option, and it came to my account pretty quickly. So it's not like Pure Profile where they take forever. So those are some, so I've made just a tad over $2,000 doing surveys since the beginning of last year, and these other platforms I can 100% recommend. I'm trying another one at the moment called Prime Opinion to replace Adipol in my collection of survey apps. That seems pretty good, but I haven't made a withdrawal from it and not been hacked. So I will recommend that once I have been the guinea pig myself. Yep, I have tried and tested all of these. Alright, and carrying on from that, the next slide's a bit similar. Celeste, tell us about focus groups and market research.
Yeah, absolutely. So just quickly on your slide, I wasn't able to sleep last night, so I woke up and on Pure Profile, I was on there for about 45 minutes and I scored myself $20. So you can't sleep, you can earn some money. Alrighty, so a step up from surveys is market research and focus groups. So I guess focus groups are usually held by Zoom or Teams, and it's a group of people discussing products, services, that sort of thing, and it's facilitated by someone from the market research company, so everyone, you know, stays on track and are able to talk about what's meant to be spoken about. A couple we've got here, with the surveys, you are going to need to fill out quite a lot of, answer a lot of demographic questions. So, be prepared for that. You're going to be spilling some tea on some personal information, but, it's a good way to make some money. So the focus group and market research tend to pay a little bit more. So for about an hour or an hour and a half of your time, you can earn between $70 to $150. So yeah, it's not bad if you do get selected, but keep in mind that you may not always get selected.
Yes.
All right, so here are some that we have tried. So We have, first off, focus people. It's really easy to set up. Obviously, the demographic questions you need to answer, and you will be emailed when a focus group that suits your demographic becomes available. There is also, for this particular company, a Facebook group where there's lots of opportunities advertised that you can apply for as well. Australia-wide, and you're paid via gift cards on the day. Next up, we have real-time research. So again, you sign up, and if your demographics suit a project, you'll be emailed like a pre-screening survey. And if your answers match and you've got what they want, a project manager will text you, within 2 to 3 days to confirm your availability and discuss the details of the project. You'll then receive an email with the link to the Teams or the Zoom meeting and all the information you need for that project. You'll be paid by either cash transfer, gift pay, or like a prepaid FBOS card. So the payment options are a bit more flexible for real time. Research connections, and this particular company is one that's advised that you probably will only get selected for a focus group once every 6 months, but they do offer other opportunities, so face-to-face interviews, product testing, taste testing, that sort of thing. It's just so that the opinions are balanced. They're paid on the day by cash transfer. Then we've got chit chat. Similar to real time, you complete a screening questionnaire, and if selected, you'll be contacted within a week with all the details of the project. If you haven't heard within that time, I'd probably suggest you ain't got what they want. So it's a pretty good way, but I think something that you need to consider is that you can apply for these, but you may not always get selected. Danielle's got a pretty cool story about her vision for these ones.
Yeah, so with these, you're probably more likely to not be selected than be selected. But I'd recommend getting on, by the way, just disclaimer, with both the market research stuff and the survey stuff, if you're not someone who likes to give out any personal information and that's scary, then it's probably not the best avenue for you. But again, I've been the guinea pig, and I have not been hacked after doing this for a whole year. But so when I first started getting registered for focus groups, I got like 2 invites and put in for both and got called about one of them, and I was like, oh cool, you're getting about 50% of them, cool. No, it's like probably a 1 in 20 or 30 thing. So you just sign up if it's something you're interested in. Sign up on as many platforms as you can, and you might get in a couple per year. But I got selected for a focus group that it was like at 8 p.m. via Zoom on a Wednesday night, so I didn't have to go anywhere. I was just able to join by my computer, and I got paid $75 for just joining a Zoom call and discussing with a bunch of people, like it was basically some ideas of to help this company build a good job ad, basically. I'd love to have that budget, but I got paid $75, and that came through in a few days, so it was very little effort for a lot of reward, because it kind of takes you like maybe 4 weeks to accumulate that on surveys, depending on how you're going. So if you can get in focus groups, they are really good.
Yeah, absolutely. Is sort of mystery shopping apps. So we've got a couple here, Snooper, Mystery Customer, and Smart Spotter. Snooper is it's an app-based program, and you select missions within your area. You can preview the checkpoints or the requirements of the mission. You hit accept, and you get paid. So some of the to start off with mystery shopping, it is a bit intimidating, I think. that would be the first challenge, would be going into stores, being a ninja undercover person, taking photos and pretty much just being a creep of these stores. So that's something that you will get over and get used to, but they pay quite well. They're time limited. They give you examples of what sort of photos, what photos they need. Sometimes on these missions, they'll say that you need to say, "Hi, I'm Celeste, and I'm with Snooper. I'm taking photos of your store. Is that okay?" Other times you have to be a ninja and be undercover. There's a support line if they do tend to, if like the shopkeeper or someone says to nick off, you're like, "Yep, no worries, see you later," and back out quietly. Missions, once you complete the mission, they're reviewed within 3 days, and you can cash out at $10. So not a bad one to get going. You're sort of going shopping anyway. I don't know, well, I obviously have a problem, but the ones that are coming on my my map are all grog shops. So, obviously I frequent often, so it's not a big deal for me. Then we've got mystery customer. So that one is, they tend to pay a little bit more. So currently at the moment they have some missions about calling a luxury vehicle place and requesting a quote for, a Lamborghini, and then calling back the next day to negotiate the price. So those sort of missions do require a bit more effort and a bit more of a detailed report, but they do tend to pay a bit more, so above $50 to $85. Sometimes you need to go and test drive a car, that sort of thing. So, might be a cool, cheap date idea, like let's go and test drive the car. Pretty cool way to make some extra cash on the weekend, but they do take a little bit longer. I came across Smart Spotter. I haven't used this one yet, but it's similar to Snooper, so map-based missions. This particular app has, once you select a mission, it gives you some more details about what's required. So there's a tab, once you select the mission, it gives you a rundown, and then on the next tab, it sort of says you've got 18 photos to take, and then as you go through, it gives you examples of what photos they require. Again, the example on mine is BWS, take a photo of the drive-through, or take a photo of the cooler, the beer cooler room, that sort of thing, and again pay about $7 to $12 per mission. One also, again, with BWS, you don't even have to do anything. They're just asking for photos of receipts from BWS. So you can go and collect BWS receipts, take a photo, and you get paid $1 per receipt without having to do anything. I thought it was quite funny on the app. They gave you a hint, and they said just to ask the cashier if they've got any extra receipts in the bin, and snap away. You can get $30 a week for just doing that. So pay directly into your account every Thursday. Otherwise, you can request it to be like a manual transaction, manual cash out, so you can sort of keep your funds there for a little bit longer. Anything under $20 there'll be a 50-cent transaction fee. So yeah, there's some pretty cool different ways to earn some mystery shopping money. Alrighty. Next up, we have renting and selling your stuff. So obviously everybody knows about Facebook Marketplace. It's a good way to sell stuff that you don't need. You can also rent things from there, obviously, as well, or rent things out. but you know, your junk, someone else's treasure. You have no idea what you can find and what you can sell. People are weird, so you know, it's a good place to, you know, have a go at getting rid of some stuff. Obviously, it's really easy to list your items, connect with the people local in your area, and obviously free. And you can sell anything or rent anything, so it's pretty good. Some cons about Facebook Marketplace, like I said before, people are creeps, so sometimes it can maybe be a safety issue. If you go in knowing that people are going to try and haggle you, you're going to get haggled for a price. You know that it's going to happen, you can prepare for it. There's limited protection compared to sort of other e-commerce platforms. So, you know, if it doesn't work or if someone comes for you, you're on your own. And obviously inconsistent sales. So, was that a joke? Did someone laugh? So, inconsistent sales. So, you know, your old work boots might fly off your page, but then, you know, the marble granite top might stay there for a while. So it's inconsistent. Airbnb, obviously if you've got a spare room or a granny flat or something like that in your property, it's a really good way to make some extra income. It's obviously really flexible, so you can choose when you want to do it, when you don't. For you guys up in Queensland, if you've got a water view, you're probably a bit more, probably a bit better for you guys, but it's a good way to make some extra money. Obviously, there are cons as well. So your maintenance, regular cleaning, making sure it's acceptable and pretty, because again, people are weird, so they'll complain about anything. Hosting, if you're not a people person, is probably not great. You know, you need to manage guest interactions, check-ins, and potentially deal with any issues that may arrive. And obviously, your privacy is compromised, because if you're renting a room or you're Airbnb-ing a room, you know, those shared areas, common areas, will have people in there. Another one that I've actually used to rent from is Camplify. So this is a similar to Airbnb, but if you've got a camper van, a camper trailer, or a caravan that you don't necessarily use all the time, you can list it on Camplify for to be rented out. So huge income potential if you don't use it as often as you intended when you purchased it. It's good. It's better to get it out there than rather not being used. And as with Airbnb, there's insurance and customer support for renters and owners as well. Some of the issues that might arise with Camplify, obviously wear and tear on your van or your trailer, seasonal demand. So when you want to use it is probably when other people want to use it. So there might have to be a compromise there. And obviously the income will fluctuate as well based on seasonal peaks. And, you know, there's always a risk with renters because, again, people are weird. So despite the insurance, there's obviously that risk there. All right, let's move on.
All right, so now we're getting to side hustles. So first we're going to go through some just apps that you can just sign up for without really having to think or promote yourself, and then Celeste will go through a few, more sort of business style ideas that are kind of low cost startups. Okay, so side hustle apps that you can use. Obviously, we all know about Uber Eats, DoorDash, Uber itself. So if you've got a decent car, don't mind doing this for a few hours on the weekend if you feel you need to make a bit of extra cash. Those are all there. If you want to go deliver some people some takeout, you know, that's always there and available. All right.
Sneak and ship.
Yep, sneak and ship. I think you might, might get kicked off the app for that one. But yeah, who knows? All right. Okay. Have people heard of Mad Paws and Paw Shake?
Nope.
All right. So they are pet sitting apps. So and they're very reputable. So people feel very safe using them. So I have used Mad Paws myself to find pet sitters for my dog. So if you like want a dog, but you know don't want a dog all the time, or you know don't want to deal with all the annoying things of having a dog, you just want a dog to hang out with, you can register as a Mad Paws pet sitter. So maybe if you've got a partner who works part time or works from home, you guys can register as a Mad Paws pet sitter. I haven't used Paw Shake, but I know there's a lot of great people on Paw Shake as well, and Mad Paws and Paw Shake are really reputable. I think even Qantas has like partnered with Mad Paws as like, it'll be one of those things after you book your flight, all the car rentals will come up and be like, Mad Paws, you can book a pet sitter for your pet while you're away. So people feel very comfortable using it. And people charge on Mad Paws between like $20 a night to like $90 a night for to sit pets. I paid one of the $90 a night ones because I had no other choice, but they were super lovely, and my dog didn't want to come home, so they worked from home and she was very happy about that. So if you want to take care of a dog, Mad Paws. So generally you'll sign up for the app, they screen you, and then when someone makes a booking they come around and meet you and make sure they're happy with it, and then once the booking goes ahead, Mad Paws keeps the money until the person that you've both confirmed that the dog came to stay. Then Mad Paws releases the money for you, and I would assume Paw Shake operates on a similar way. Okay, last but not least, Air Tasker. So if you have any sort of skills at all, if you can lift heavy things, if you own a trailer, if you're good at assembling flat pack furniture, or even know how to set up stereo systems or anything like that, you can put yourself on Air Tasker and do things for useless rich people. Or just anyone really. So I know.
Or just poor people that don't do anything like me.
Yes, Celeste has used it to have someone come out and assemble 2 trampolines. I know my mother uses it to get people to come and assemble flat pack furniture. I know my uncles used it to get someone to move a fridge. Again, they might need, they're not very handy people. So if who knows, especially like if you got a trailer or something, who knows what you can do. So it's not just physical stuff yet. I think Celeste did say they've even got like IT people come and fix computers or anything like that. So again, if you want to put a bit of time, pop your skills on Air Tasker, see what you can come up with. And again, with all these things, again, just check the insurance of them, make sure you know the ins and outs of what you're getting into with all of these services.
Yeah, absolutely. I've definitely I enjoyed my Air Tasker Santa Claus. He came around at about 9:30 on Christmas Eve and set up a trampoline. He was bloody brilliant. Took the rubbish away too, the legend. It's a good way to have a look. You can also bid for jobs. People list jobs on there all the time, and if you've got an account, you can bid for it, and pretty much list your price. So you can see how you go. All right, some actual side hustles. So first off, we've got some lawn mowing. So not sure. My dad, Tall Paul, actually does this. He lives in a sort of semi-rural suburb, and the old man mows his neighbours' nature strips because no one has a backyard, so he just mows them, and everyone whacks $10 in his letterbox. It's good to do it. You might have a lawnmower at home. Obviously, it's regular. It can be regular if you live in an estate. Most of the younger kids these days probably don't own a lawnmower. Probably couldn't even start it if no offence to anyone, you young fellas. But probably won't be able to start it. So you can do a bit of a mail drop and mow everyone's nature strips. It's flexible. Some cons, obviously it's physical labour, weather dependent, and obviously seasonal as well. So pretty good way. Similar, we're moving on to window cleaning. Obviously it's a high demand, rental properties, commercial properties, even people who own the homes would like to have their windows cleaned. So it's low overheads, and you can scale the business as well. Risk of working at heights, especially in commercial buildings. If you're a bit queasy with heights, you might just stick to single stories. Window cleaning, single story only. With then, weather and again, it's a physical job. Car detailing, not too bad to start off with. It's, your initial costs might be a little bit higher to get all the products, and, depending on how deep you want to go with the buffer and all of that sort of stuff. You probably have a vacuum, so you could at least get that stuff going. My partner did this for a little bit. The only reason why he stopped was because he came across a terrible mum car that had things growing, and it wasn't mine. It was somebody else's, so he gave it up. But he was able to, charge 100. This was a while ago. You can probably charge a bit more. I think it's at $200 for a basic. But he was charging about $150 for an ADHD car detail. So obviously, again, physical work, guys. You might have to put a bit of muscle in there, but high demand, and you can make a really good income off it if you enjoy that sort of thing. Cake decorating and baking, really, really cool if that's what you're into and you can bake and you've got your creative outlet. There's always going to be baby showers, bar mitzvahs, the beautiful little cookies with the names on it for weddings, that sort of thing. So it's always going to happen. So it's a really cool way to get your creative outlet, I guess. Time consuming though, and obviously it's edible goods, so perishable items. You might have to bring a couple back to Taipan so that they can eat them if you don't get rid of them, and marketing and things like that as well to get your name out there. Obviously word of mouth can only go so far, so a bit of marketing will assist you in something like that. Then we're moving on to digital products. So digital products are anything from planners, invitations, seating charts, anything wedding, anything birthday, spreadsheets, those sort of things. Initially takes a bit of time to set up if you're creative again like that, or you can create a pretty Excel spreadsheet, but it has the opportunity to generate passive income. So you sort of set and forget, and people just buy your products and download it. You don't need to do anything else. So it's a good way to sort of set and forget if you're into that sort of thing. Obviously, at the moment, everyone's sort of up on digital products, so the market might be inflated, but have a crack. Etsy is a good platform to use. You can also not only digital products, but sort of all your craft, jewelry, physical items. So not just your PDF. You can actually print the physical and send it to a buyer as well. Tutoring, if you're clever or you've got a special skill, how cool would it be to be able to teach someone that skill? I don't have that, so I can't do it myself, but high demand. There's a ability to be flexible. and you can pretty much charge what you want depending on your skill. Obviously, you need to be competitive, but to be able to, if you've got a niche skill, you can pretty much charge whatever you'd like. Some of the cons with tutoring, your preparation. So if you are tutoring algebra, you probably need to have some equations sorted and know the answers so that you can tell your student off if they get it wrong. It can be competitive as well, the market. And then OnlyFans or feed pics. Times are tough, guys. So obviously with feed pics especially, we'll stay PG. It's completely low effort. Some people enjoy unpedicured feet, so it's fine. There's a high demand, which is also quite funny. It's obviously a dedicated niche market, and you can remain anonymous, so that is good. Obviously, if you do find out, your reputation might, depending what your circle is like, there's a bit of a social stigma about this sort of stuff. Platform issues, you'd need to work out what platform suits you best, and feed pics may go out of fashion, so it might be a variable income. All right, so there's some ideas on ways to make some side hustles. All right, here I've got, it's not necessarily to make you money, but potentially be able to save a bit of money or help you spend less, which is obviously in the long run beneficial. First off, I've got Shopback. So if anyone hasn't heard of Shopback, it is an app that you get a percentage off your shop. So big brands like Adidas, Maya, Big W, things like that offer a percentage back on your shop. So I think Adidas at the moment has a 12% off. So, if you're going to go and buy those gazelles, you get 12% back anyway. So if you're going to buy it, may as well have a crack and see what percentage you can get back on Shopback. Finder is a good one. It's not necessarily, it's more of a comparison website. I enjoy it a lot, and compared to, compare the market or Budget Direct and things like that, where they compare insurances, credit card, internet providers, that sort of thing. Finder does it, the same thing, but you don't get called a million times. So you can just look at it without your phone ringing in 7 minutes after you've finished your inquiry. So Finder has a whole heap of different products and services on there that you can select and review to work out what's best for you. So we've got Flybuys and Coles, and obviously you're shopping and you are generating points through your Flybuys that you can then redeem for money off, or money off your shop, or other products if you've got that many. But always a good idea. Coles app has lists of specials. You get notified based on your shopping habits. So it's a bit, again, like they're always watching, guys. So, Up and Goes are on special this week. Fantastic, because that's $120 for 7. So it's down to $77. So it's a really, obviously it collects your data a bit, but you get notified for what you would usually be spending. Half Price and Frugal, if you are a bit of a list maker before you go to the grocery store, you can search for products that you usually spend, that you usually purchase in your shop, and you can see where at a Woolies and Coles, where is the cheapest, and if there's similar products that are cheaper than what normally is. So it's a good way to help you budget, stretch your budget a bit more if you want to go into that much detail. Danielle, you are a Woolies gal, so
Yes.
I'll leave that one for you.
Yeah, so I'm definitely a Woolworths person because I'm a person of habit. I do not like deviating to any other supermarkets. So yeah, I've got, like everyone, I've got a Woolworths, everyday rewards card. So last year I just had my card and I was just like scanning it every time I shopped, and I got like $50 off groceries throughout the whole year. But at Christmas I downloaded, if you actually download the app, and it's got all these extra deals on it for like, it'll have certain products that week or other deals that you can boost. And so far this year we're only 6 months in, or less than 6 months in, and I've got $200 off my groceries. So I'm like, oh, by the end of the year I can save 8 times what I saved last year. So definitely download the app and just turn on all the boosters. But with these, same with Coles and Flybuys, just be careful with these things. Don't fall for their marketing rubbish, right?
Yeah.
Just be careful. Like even I jumped on before and checked, and the things that got boosted this week, they have, of course, it's the most expensive stuff that's boosted, right? So is my cheap little $8 pork steaks boosted? No. Smoked salmon steaks are boosted, and the pork roast is boosted, which is, more expensive than the pork steaks. So, if I'm like, oh, I can boost and get the pork roast instead of my pork steaks for 300 points. 300 points is $1.50, and the pork roast is $4 more. So don't spend, it's like, no, you haven't saved $1.50, you've spent $4. So just be careful with all the boosters and getting points and everything. Just make sure you just shop as normal. Don't go out of your way to buy something that's boosted unless you were going to buy that anyway, or it's a similar price to something else you have bought.
Can I just quickly add something with that?
Yeah.
So me and my partner have used the Coles app and the Woolworths app because we use the one login, and that means she can do a shopping list and I get it instantly on my phone. The one thing when doing a shopping list with that is for Coles, all the kilo prices is the price it gives you. And for Woolworths, if it's a baked good or something they don't have available, that's not incorporated into the pricing.
Yeah.
So it can give you things that'll confuse you. You think you're saving money and you're really not.
Yeah, so it's just boost. Like, what I do is I boost everything, but I don't really look at what's boosted. I just shop as normal, and if what I bought's boosted, then cool. Because otherwise, if you go around and try and buy everything that's boosted or everything that's got a deal, you'll probably spend more.
Yep.
All right. Cool.
Absolutely.
What's
And
next,
just
Celeste?
Sorry.
Yep. Go ahead.
Just on that, having being mindful of those special traps. So if you want to go in, in deep, have a look at the unit. The cost per unit. So cost per 100 grams per litre, etc. You'd be able to find out how, if it's cheaper. So product A is $5 for 250 grams, and product B is $7 for 400 grams. Which one is cheaper? It's product B because it works out as, if you want the calculation, I can send it to you. But have a look at that unit price for 100 grams or 1 litre or whatever it is, because that'll also help you, with your special offers. 2 for $10 when it's normally $6 each. So, you're only saving $1. Do you really need to? So yeah, it's just food for thought, I'd say. This is one of the apps that I'm using. It's called the app's called Wiser, and Wiser offers a whole range of different financial services. However, what I'm using at the moment is a function called Round Up. So any oldies like me, after a big weekend at the clubs, you'd empty your bag out or your pockets out of all your coins and whack it in a Tupperware or the cigarette thing in your car and have it rattling all the time, and then oh, I'm going to count that up and there's a bit of money there. We don't do that anymore because we use our cards. So in short, the Roundup app basically does that. Again, I've used this. I freaked out because I needed to give my bank details, but I haven't been hacked or scammed or lost any money. So what the idea of this is that you choose an option of all your purchases to be rounded up to the nearest dollar, $2 or nearest $5. And at the end of the week, those roundups are taken out of an account, held, and then at during the first week of every month, it is then deposited back into an account of your choice. So that could either be a savings account, a credit card, your HEX debt, mortgage, sort of anything with sort of BPay, you can link into this. So the idea about it is to help you pay off your debt sooner, or add to your savings. It's not replacing it, your savings or your debt repayment, but I guess it's like a micro savings kind of thing. So you don't really notice anything, you don't change anything of your habits. So the first week I started, $21 for the week was taken out. The following, I think I had, it was obviously second week of pay, so it was only $10. And I think now the third week it's about $16. So, if you add that up over the year without noticing anything, why not? So that's a good one that I have used. You have a transaction account, a funding account, and a goal account, and there's heaps of different banks and things that they have listed there. So pretty easy. All right. There we go.
All right. Yep. Two things are sure in life: death and taxes. So you might have been wondering throughout a few of these things that we've talked about. Oh, do I have to pay tax on this stuff? So all of the stuff Celeste has just covered, like the all your everyday rewards and your wiser stuff. Your wiser stuff, that's just a function of saving your own money a bit better. So that's obviously not included. All of the everyday rewards stuff and half price finder, that's just companies giving you deals, so that's irrelevant. For the side hustle stuff, if you do start making a bit of lucrative money from it and the taxman finds out, they might not be very happy. So just get your own advice with that one. For the things like surveys and focus groups, the advice because really I made $1,500 last year doing all that stuff. The advice I got from my accountant was that that's just a hobby, but I would encourage you to just get your own advice on that one to just make sure you're not getting yourself into any corners. Okay, all right. What have we got? What have we got next, Celeste? All right. Yes. Last but not least, adding value at work. So yeah, it was pretty annoying and tedious doing probably hundreds of surveys to get $1,500. You know what's probably easier than that, because you have to come here every day anyway, is putting in a bunch of effort and adding value at work to secure, to add value at work, because then if you add value at work, that's reflected in the pay increases. So what do we mean when we talk about adding value? So know what you do best, know your strengths, meet and exceed expectations. I think we could almost cross the word meet out there and exceed expectations, because sometimes people tell me they go above and beyond and they just literally, it's like, no, that's just your job. And no, that one time that you stepped up when that team leader was away, no, that's not enough. It needs to be consistent and all the time. So yeah, work on your skills, qualifications, use an initiative, develop a good reputation. So basically what you want to do to add value at work is be going into your catch-ups and asking your manager, tell me how to improve, evaluate my performance, tell me how I'm doing, how can I add value. They want to help you, even if you have no clue how to improve on certain things. Like you've been trying and you just don't know how. Your managers will be able to give you heaps of good tips on how to increase your value. So take ownerships of your catch-ups, be the one booking them in, and work on adding value in your role, because that's just a hell of a lot easier than spending all your extra time doing surveys and focus groups when you could just be earning more money here.